నమో నమః. అందరికీ నమస్కారములు. Today is another good day. We are going to start a new topic, Darshnas, by our Guruji, Dr. CSR Prabhu garu. Now we'll start with chanting Prarthana. After that, I will hand over the session to Dr. CSR Prabhu garu. Aditi, please chant Prarthana.
शुक्लाम्बरधरं विष्णुं शशिवर्णं चतुर्भुजं प्रसन्नवदनं ध्यायेत् सर्वविघ्नोपशान्तये। सरस्वती नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणी विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा। हरि ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः।
ధన్యవాదములు
धन्यवाद।
Aditi. Now let us request CSR Prabhu garu to start the session, please.
Okay, good evening, friends. So today we'll be discussing the Darshnas and tomorrow also. So in the entire Vedic knowledge system or ancient Indian knowledge system, we have the top level, the Vedas, which are very vast and most of them are lost, but whatever are remaining, they are remaining now, which are very difficult to understand. The language is a archaic Vedic Sanskrit, not the normal Sanskrit. And the Vedic model of knowledge was gradually replaced by the post-Vedic texts or post-Vedic knowledge bases. Veda itself was a total knowledge. The word Veda means knowledge. So there was a particular model of knowledge, which was the Vedic model of knowledge, which was oral and which was mantra-based, which was vast, and all subjects were covered for a long period of time. Knowledge was recorded and appended in the Vedic warehouse of knowledge. And after some time, after a very long time, the Upavedas and Darshnas came. So the Vedangas were meant only for understanding the Veda minimum requirements. But the next level of knowledge was Darshnas. And then came the Upavedas, maybe parallelly. And then came the Shastras, like the Upavedas of the Veda, like Ayurveda, Dhanurveda, Gandharva Veda, which is musicology. So the Darshanas were knowledge systems which are trying to interpret different perspectives of the reality, again based on the Vedic knowledge only, but the word Darshana means perspective. Drukkonam, you see a perspective of looking at the knowledge. So all knowledge in the world and as also covered in the Vedas can be perceived in 6 different ways, which are called the Shat Darshanas. The first perspective or way of looking at it is called Sankhya. Second is called Yoga. Third is called Nyaya. Fourth is called Vaiseshika. Fifth is called Mimamsa. And sixth is called Vedanta. Each one is a vast subject. In time sequence, the same sequence was followed. The first was Sankhya philosophy perspective by Kapila Muni. Kapila Muni, we know the famous name Kapil we say, but we don't know who he was. So Kapila Muni was one of the 24 avatars of Vishnu, Narayana. In sequence, we know the Dashavatas, but there are actually 24, out of which 10 are very popular. Among the remaining, other than 10, we have Vyasa also, much later, and Kapila much earlier. So Kapila gave the Sankhya Darshana Sutra, Sankhya Sutras, He first taught Sankhya to his own mother, Devahuti. And then we have Patanjali, who gave the Yoga Darshana, Yoga Sutras. Of course, as I told you, there may be two Patanjalis, one for Yoga Sutras and other for Vyakarana Mahabhashya, Panini's Ashtadhyayi Sutras. So the earlier one is Yoga Sutras after Kapila, but quite ancient. We don't even know exactly which period it is. Then we have the Nyaya Sutras by Gautama Rishi, who was later to Patanjali. And then we have the Vaiseshika Sutras of Kanada Rishi, later to Nyaya Sutras. And then we have the Imamsa Sutras of Jaimini. Jaimini was a disciple of Vyasa, one of the four major disciples who took over the Samaveda from Vyasa. And finally, we have Vedanta Darshana, or Brahma Sutras, again by Vyasa. Of course, Badarayana, we presume Badarayana and Vyasa are the same. So these are the 6 darshanas. We will touch upon a little bit each one of these today and tomorrow. So in the Sankhya Darshana, the Sankhya model of the universe, we all know, we see the universe. And who is seeing this universe? Man is seeing. That is called Purusha. And Prakriti, the nature. So Purusha and Prakriti is a dualistic model of the universe. Everything that is there in existing in universe is made up of Purusha and Prakriti. So this is the origin. The Sankhya Sutras of Kapila are the origin. But the Sankhya Darshana is live throughout the literature. It is there in the Bhagavad Gita also. And Sankhya and Yoga go together. Yoga is supposed to be the practical dimension of Sankhya. So in Bhagavad Gita, Sankhya has been defined very clearly. Purusham Prakritim Chaiva Vidhyanadi Ubhavapi Vikarans Chagunans Chaiva Vidhi Prakriti Sambhava Karya Karana Kartrutve Hetu Prakriti Uchyate Purusha Sukhadukhanam Bhoktritve Hetu Uchyate. So man and nature. Man means not just a physical man, the observer, consciousness. Avyaha Purushaha Sakshi in the Vishnu Sahasranam also. Purusha means the observer consciousness. Avya Purusha Sakshi Kshetrajno Akshara Evacha. So that observer or consciousness on one side and nature, universe on the other side. So both are without beginning and without end. They are always there. Prakritim Purushan Chaiva Vidya Anadi Ubhavapi. Vikarans Chagunans Chaiva Vidhi Prakriti Sambhavan. So Prakriti has the Vikaras. All things in this world, they go through 6 changes. Vikara means change. So the word Kara in Sanskrit, if you add V, it becomes Vikara. If you put A, it becomes Akara. If you put Pra, it becomes Prakara. All mean different things. So Vikara means change. Everything in this world changes. The only thing really permanent in this world is change. Nothing else is permanent. Everything which appears to exist to you will disappear after some time. Before that, it may change. People change, bodies change, mind changes, everything changes. So the only thing that is constant is change itself. So Vikaras, Vikaranscha, Gunanscha. What are those changes? There are 6 changes. Shad Vikaras. Everything in this world has a birth, has a death. In between, it has growth, it has maturity, it has decay and death. So totally 6 levels. Everything has to go through this cycle of birth and death with growth, maturity, decay and death. So the 6 vikaras are called Shadvikaras, Vikaranscha, Gunanscha. And Prakriti, nature also has been classified in having 3 qualities. Gunas, the Sattva Guna, Rajo Guna and Tamo. Tamo Guna means inertia, inert. Rajo Guna means motion, dynamism. Sattva guna is calmness and knowledge. So you can see all the three gunas exist in the world. Like if you take the animals, cow is the sattva guna animal, and tiger is rajoguna, and a donkey or hippopotamus or a pig is tamoguna. You know what I mean. Similarly, among human beings also, we have these three types of gunas: sattva guna, rajoguna, tamo. So by birth, some people have more sattva guna, some people have more rajoguna, some people have more tamoguna, some people have a mixture. Of course, all of us have mixtures, but how much percentage? Sattva guna is essential for intellectual activity, spiritual activity, religious activity. If a sattva guna is less, then that person will be very, very agitated, violent, and too much active, like a tiger. So, tamo guna on the other side is inertia, sleep, error, mistake, and drowsiness. So, we also feel drowsy, we also feel dynamic, we also feel sattvic. But people have more and more traits of different percentages of this. Accordingly, the people are classified: Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. But that doesn't mean they don't have the other qualities. Everybody has all qualities, but dominant nature. So vikarascha gunanscha, that's why gunas can be seen in the food also. Sattvic food is what you see in the temple prasadam kind of thing. Milk, godhuma, shaliyama, paushtika, shobha, khanda, jakshira, sita, madhuni. So these are all sattvic food. And rajasic, spicy food. And tamasic also, stale food, alcohol, and so on. So everything, in fact, Bhagavad Gita has explained very clearly, Gunatraya Vibhaga Yoga. There's a whole chapter explaining the gunas. So that comes from the Sankhya Darshana. Vikaranscha gunanscha vidhi prakriti sambhava. Not only these two, because of these two, karya karana kartrutve hetu prakriti richyate. All actions, all causes of actions, and all ownerships of actions are all in prakriti. Purusha sukha dukkha. Then what is a Purusha doing? He's doing nothing. He will do nothing but except enjoy. Sukha dukkhanam bhoktrutve hetu. Prakriti doesn't have intelligent consciousness principle. Only Purusha has. So Purusha is feeler, thinker, enjoyer. He enjoys all the actions, changes, pains, pleasures of in Prakriti. So in the Sankhya Sutras, what Kapila Muni has said in the beginning is that Trividha Dukkha Nivrittir Atyanta Purushartha. What is the purpose or the main objective or command or demand of human life? Purushartha is Trividha Dukkha Nivritti. To be able to solve, overcome, transcend, come out from three types of miseries. I don't have to tell you what all miseries are. We have been suffering all types of miseries. Janma dukkham, jara dukkham, jaya dukkham, punah punah, samsaram sagaram dukkham. But Buddha meditated for 6 years and said, the whole world is full of dukkha, misery. I don't have to tell you what miseries mean or what miseries you have. Everybody has miseries. If you don't have money, there is a misery. If you have a lot of money, also is a misery. If you have anger, you have misery. If you have greed, you have misery. So many miseries. So all the miseries in this world can be classified into three categories: Adi Bhautika, Adi Daivika, Adhyatmika. Adi Bhautika are physical miseries, like you have back pain or you have neck pain or whatever pains and whatever problems, physical problems. And second is Adi Daivika, that is you have natural problems, too damn cold or too damn hot or too damn rainy, or earthquake or terror, cyclone, and all kinds of things happen. Adi Daivika Dukkhas. Then third category is the Adhyatmika Dukkha. If you don't have any of these also, you have internal problems. You become angry, you become arrogant, you become upset, you become miserable, you cry, you are unhappy, all these things happen. So the Adhyatmika Dukkhas, the Adidayvika Dukkhas, Adibhautika Dukkhas, the totally three categories. Trividha Dukkha. Trividha dukkha nivrittirachyanta purushartha. That is the statement, the very first sutra of Kapila Muni. The main human effort, the purpose of human life, or the steps you take or the action you take should be is meant only for overcoming all problems. Everybody knows we are doing only that. We are doing all our life how to overcome this problem, that problem, that problem. In fact, when I was given one lifetime achievement award in Delhi, somebody asked me, I think my wife also asked me, how do you feel? I said, all my life, I've been only tackling problems. That's what life is. So now in the Sankhya Darshana perspective, the dukkhas are coming due to the contact of Prakriti and Purusha. The Purusha, that is man, that is myself or self or consciousness, is identifying itself with Prakriti and getting lost in it. Because of that reason, it is suffering all problems. So the last sutra of Sankhya Darshana is Asangoyam Purusha. Through a long process of inquiry and practice and all that, if you come to a stage where I am not Prakriti, Prakriti is different, I am Purusha. The realization that I am Purusha is the only way to be liberated from these miseries. If you identify yourself with Prakriti, you will be having endless problems. Sometimes you may have some pleasures, but pains will be all the time. The moment you detach yourself, if you are capable of detaching, of course, it may or may not be possible. And if you can establish in yourself, it is in the Purusha state, then you are free from the effects of Prakriti, which are dukkhas. So that is called moksha or nirvana or freedom or emancipation. So many words are there. Now, this is the theory framework of Sankhya. The same thing, how to do it, is given in yoga. Yoga Darshana. You all know about yoga. Yoga means you think doing Sirshasana or Mayurasana. Fine, that is also yoga, no doubt, but the yoga doesn't mean only that. It has many more things. So the Yoga Darshana, which Patanjali gave, is based upon the Sankhya Darshana framework and goes into the practical aspects. So the very first sutra of Yoga Darshana is Yogas Chittavritti Nirodha. Yoga is nothing but arresting the mind. So the mind is going here and there, helter skelter. There is no concentration, there is no peace, there is no happiness. Without peace, there cannot be happiness. So the mind is disturbed or getting modified and going on changing, shifting from one to the other. You can never have peace, you can never have happiness. So the techniques for calming the mind, even for concentration or for meditation or for calmness or for peace or for relaxation, for whatever purpose, those techniques or practices are called yoga. Yoga's chitta vritti nirodha. What happens if you do that? Tada drashtu swarupe avasthana. If you can be in yourself, in your own true nature, which is Purusha, then obviously you have been liberated from the miseries. Otherwise, vritti sarupyam etaratra. You are always getting identified. You feel that you are one and the same as your chitta vrittis. Like you feel that you are Aadhaar number or your passport number or you are this, you are that. You are not any of those. They are all been assigned to you. You are not even the name. You are not even the designation. But you exist. You are Sat and you are pure consciousness. And you have, by your own right, you are in. You can be in bliss. So Satchidananda is your true nature. The moment you get entangled into Prakriti through mind, chitta vrittis, you start suffering. So it doesn't mean that it's possible to be like that all the time. But at least for some time, if you can be there in that way, then you are free from all the miseries and troubles and turmoils of nature or Prakriti. So that is the connection between Sankhya and Yoga. And Yoga, of course, I have been teaching Yoga for the last 50, 60 years. We'll be teaching Sukshma asanas, we'll be teaching you also. Pranayama, meditation. So many techniques are there. Om meditation, Soham meditation, Antarmaunam, Ajapa, so on and so forth. So when you practice these things, which are purely practical, it's not theoretical, it is practical, like swimming. If you read a book and give a PowerPoint presentation on how to swim, you cannot swim. If you are thrown into water, you will be drowned. So you have to practice. The practical aspect, it's to practice, and practice makes perfect. So when you practice and practice, abhyasa yoga yuktena chetasa nanyagamina paramam purusham divyam ardha. So Arjuna says, Krishna tells Arjuna, a person who is practicing yoga, he will be able to see divine consciousness level and he will get liberated freedom. So that practice is repeatedly mentioned in the Bhagavad Gita also, in the Patanjali Yoga Sutras also, which all comprise the same Yoga Darshana. In fact, in the Bhagavad Gita 6th chapter, when Lord Krishna tells Arjuna, you stop your mind, concentrate or meditate, get absorbed into yourself. Then Arjuna says, no. It is not possible, it's very difficult. It is as difficult as trying to catch air in your fist. Vayoriva sudushkrutam. Chanchalam hi mana Krishna. My mind is wavering. Pramati balavad dridham, very forcibly wavering. It is not possible to control it or calm it down. Then Krishna replies, yes, asamshaya mahabhaho mano durnigraham chalam abhyasena tu kaunteya vairagyena cha gruhyate. But don't get disheartened. It is possible to control your mind, to conquer your mind through your practice, abhyasa, and also detachment. So same thing Patanjali told, abhyasa vairagya abhyam tan nirodha. Through practice and detachment. Detachment means if you have desire to get this, get that, eat this, eat that, drink that, drink that, then you will never be able to control your mind. It will be running. So a person who wants to control the mind has to give up his distractions. He has to focus. That means he has to give up distractions. Then he has to practice. I'm sure you all do. Without doing that, you will never be able to study anything. Because without concentration, you cannot study anything. Concentration, dharana, is one of the steps in yoga, Ashtanga Yoga. There are 8 steps: Yama, Niyama, Asana, Pranayama, Pratyahara, Dharana, Dhyana, and Samadhi. Dharana is concentration. Deshabandhas Chittasya Dharana. Patanjali defined. Dharana is fixing the mind on a particular topic, or particular point, or particular subject, or particular aspect. So I'm sure you are able to do it, without which you will never be able to listen to the lectures in the class, or read the book and understand, or write the exams. So concentration, and then next step is meditation. What is the difference between concentration and meditation? Meditation, deep concentration. Tata pratyekatanata dhyanam. Dharana is deshabandhas chittasya dharana. To tie up the mind on a particular point or particular topic is dharana, concentration. But same thing for a long time. Tata pratyekatanata. Specialized deep into the same stage for a long time. Like an unwavering limb, jyoti. That's what Gita 6th chapter also describes. That fixed state of mind for a long time is called dhyana, meditation. And third is samadhi, which means you get absorbed. Your concentration is so deep that you lost yourself. You might have experienced it sometimes when some good teacher is teaching a class. People get absorbed completely. They forget everything. They forget time. They forget surroundings. So that is a savitarka samadhi. And there are many types of samadhi. And nirvikalpa samadhi is the highest. If you achieve that, you will become liberated, like Ramakrishna Paramahamsa. He is supposed to be nirvikalpa samadhi sometimes. That's how he became the guru of so many people, like Swami Vivekananda. And who Vivekananda in turn became the guru for the entire world through the powers which he got from Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, through the practice of dhyana and samadhi. And that is the highest stage of enlightenment. So with this, I will stop here. I gave you the overview. Of course, success in concentration, dharana, jhana, samadhi is possible only if you are successful in pranayama, and that will be possible if you are successful in asana stage and the kriyas. And all this is based on the foundational principles of yama and niyama, which are the character principles, like speaking truth, 100% truth and only truth, non-violence, non-stealing, chastity, that is no adultery, and also non-possessiveness or non-accumulation. These are the 5 yama principles. The niyama principles are purity, shaucha, santosha, natural state of contentment and happiness. Swadhyaya, that is good study, like what we are doing right now, is swadhyaya. And Ishvara Pranidhana is surrender the result to Ishvara. That is Karma Yoga type of thing. I'll explain you some other time. So these Yamaniyamas are the foundation of character development of the personality, based on which then after that the asana practices. So many asanas are there, but some are static, some are dynamic. We will be teaching some of these things. Then pranayama, which is control of breath and therefore control of the mind. And dharana, concentration, dhyana, and samadhi. These are the 8 angas of the yoga darshana. Yamaniyam asana pranayama vrachahara dharana jhana samadhayo ashtavangani. That is a Patanjali Sutra. So we have covered today the Sankhya Darshana and Yoga Darshana and how they are connected, and how yoga is the practical process of controlling your breath, your mind, your thoughts for concentration, meditation, and absorption, based on your foundational principles of character, of truth, and so on. So this is the Yoga Darshana. The same Yoga Darshana was the basis for Buddhism, Jainism, Sikhism, or apart from, of course, Hinduism, and even in other religions, they have taken small pieces and they have built religions, and there are millions and billions of people following. But yoga is at the root, at the background of every religion in the world, and Sankhya is the theory behind yoga. So we have covered today Sankhya Darshana and Yoga Darshana. Tomorrow we will cover other darshanas. Thank you.
ధన్యవాదములండి. Now we will have 5 minutes question and answers from the participants. Any questions from the participants? They can now either ask today or tomorrow also. On Darshnas, you can ask. You please go through the recordings. I'll post the recordings in the group. Please go through that and then form your ideas, concepts, and ask any doubts tomorrow. If today anybody wants to say anything or ask any question, floor is open. You are all unmuted. You can unmute yourself and talk. Anybody? Otherwise, we will go for Prarthana.
నమస్కారం అండి.
చెప్పండి.
ఈ సాంఖ్య దర్శనంలో మీరు చెప్పినప్పుడు ప్రకృతి పురుషుడి యొక్క ఇది చెప్పారు, మూలతత్వము అవి మూలద్వయం అని చెప్తున్నారు కదా. ఇందులో ప్రకృతి అనేది జడము, పురుషుడు చేతన తత్వం కింద చెప్తే ఇక్కడ ఒక అంటే ఇది ఇంకొంచెం వివరించగలరా? ఇది అంటే ఈ చేతన తత్వాన్ని ఎలాగా మనం చేసుకుంటాం చెప్తామని.
అంటే ఇప్పుడు మనకి ఇప్పుడు మ్యాన్ అండ్ నేచర్, నేను అనే తత్వం ఏదైతే ఉందో ఐ దిస్ ఇస్ చేతన, రైట్? యు ఆర్ కాన్షియస్, రైట్? సో దట్ ఈస్ కాన్షియస్నెస్. సో దట్ ఈస్ పురుష. అందుకే పురుష అన్నాడు, మ్యాన్ అన్నట్టుగా. మ్యాన్ ఆర్ ఉమెన్, వన్ అండ్ ది సేమ్ ఇన్ దిస్ కేస్. నేచర్ ఈజ్ అవుట్ సైడ్ నేచర్. అవుట్ సైడ్, you have the elements. You have in fact, in Sankhya Darshana, there are 24 tattvas, Panchabhutas, Panchendriyas, Panchatanmatras, and then we have Mano, Buddhi, Ahankara, Chitta. All these are the external equipment which are operating on the basis and foundation of consciousness. Suppose consciousness is not there, the intelligence principle is not there, none of these can operate. So that is why it is called Jada. Jada doesn't mean it is a totally gone case. They are based on the consciousness, which is the self, without which there cannot be manas, there cannot be buddhi, there cannot be ahankara, there cannot be panch tanmatras, there cannot be panchendriyas. So totally 24 tattvas have been defined. Mahat is the last and Purusha is the outside, the Prakriti. So it is a very elaborate theory. In a very short period, we have just touched upon. But we have notes and we have books, and in our notes we have covered a lot more. You can read that.
ధన్యవాదాలు.
Anybody else? Okay. Let us request, let us thank first Dr. CSR Prabhu garu for this lecture. And now we'll go for Prarthana. Aditi, please chant Prarthana.
Yes, Guruji. Sarve bhavantu sukhinah, sarve santu niramayah, sarve bhadrani pashyantu, ma kaschid dukkha bhag bhavet. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Dhanyavad.
Dhanyavad. And let us all of us sing.
Sarve. Mahodaya, I'll chant it correctly now.
Okay.
Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah, Sarve Santu Niramayah, Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu, Ma Kaschid Dukkha Bhag Bhavet. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Swasti.
Okay. Chala Chittibabu garu.
Yeah.
Please recite national anthem.
जनगणमन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंधु गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्छल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जनगण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे जय हिंद जय हिंद.
ధన్యవాదములండి చలా చిట్టిబాబు గారు. Now